Or the way the enemy fights the U.S. overseas is being used with unmanned attack drones. And the soldiers facing those attacks are often 10th Mountain Division soldiers right at Fort Drum. Tonight we see training at Fort Drum. The training local soldiers how to protect themselves against those unmanned drones. Here's 7 News reporter Sandy Torres.
This drone flying over Fort Drum training grounds is simulating an enemy attack. It's part of U.S. Central Command's or CENTCOM's Desert Guardian exercise. Using new and existing sensors to counter drone strikes is part of the training.
Speed 35 knots.
Soldiers only have a matter of minutes to counter attacks.
The faster that you can get the information in front of someone to say, I'm positive this is hostile, I also understand the context of everything that's around it, means that they can make the safest and best decision in much less time.
Soldiers with the 1st Brigade Combat Team train with officials from CENTCOM using different systems and sensors. CENTCOM says Fort Drum is the ideal place to have this training.
When you want to test technologies with real users who are actually going to have to use them, this is the place to go.
It is allowing them to just fine-tune their battle drills so that they are ready to deal with a real threat overseas.
2 things that these drones are helping to test: integration and efficiency.
Soldiers were also helping to develop how these defense systems will be upgraded. Right now, when info comes in from sensors, it goes to multiple screens.
Processing.
One of CENTCOM's goals is to streamline that information, putting it all on one screen the moment an enemy attacks. CENTCOM says it will continue its training and hopes to have an updated system for countering drones soon. Sandy Torres, 7 News.